welcome Grendels around the world and Slim Fits around the world. So, this is Grendel Prime. Finally is here, released with the Abyss of Dagath, and already delivered Dagath build. It's gonna be Steel Path Showcase and so on in the future. Now we need to focus on our baby fat Grendel Prime. So, I'm gonna explain the abilities, I'm gonna show you the builds, and we're gonna take him for a Steel Path spin with a random build of the ones I made. Let's get going, starting with his passive for the Thanos that doesn't know Grendel and his passive because he's been reworked. Each enemy consumed grant 250 bonus armor, and you can consume up to 5 enemies. Now, feast, swallow enemies whole and stuff. So I'll explain it easier for you. So you eat the enemies, and then if you hold, you're gonna vomit them out. So exactly. So when you vomit them out, you're gonna do toxin damage. Okay? Scales with strength and so on and so on. Yeah. And when they are inside your stomach, you start digesting them, you know, like, you know, that's the part. No, that's the 2% what is for, is enemies, what damage they take per second. Now, moving to Nourish. This Nourish is regenerate health for Grendel. Also, this gives you energy multiplier, and it does explosion damage to 250. And also, this buffs expand to squad mates. It is very, very lovely. One of the best helmet abilities in the game, actually. And this guy have it for free. Yeah. Okay, moving to Pulverize. Pulverize, you become Meatball and you start running fast. When you're running fast and so on, you can armor strip those enemies. And it drains per second. Also, it does toxin damage. Now, moving to the Regurgitate. Violently puke out. So, if you have enemies in your stomach, you can puke them out. The soaked enemies from Grendel gut, turning the consumed into a toxic projectile. Nearby enemies are slowed and have their armor dissolved by the bile. So this is actually his armor strip in his kit. So you get the idea. So you swallow enemies, you can throw them and they take damage in your stomach, and you proc toxin on them and damage. You have Nourish to regenerate HP, and any enemies attack you or you attack, they're gonna suffer viral damage. And you're gonna have energy multipliers. Here, Pulverize, you're gonna become a meatball running around fast, removing enemies' armor and proccing a toxin. Here you have the fourth ability. You're gonna puke out enemies, slowing them down and like armor stripping them. Okay, that's our boy. Okay, let me really quick show you without any mods what we're talking about. So this is one guy, 3 guys, actually, 750 armor. So we said 250 on 3, that's 750. There you go, 1250. Bada boom, 5 enemies. Let's go. 4 is 1000. 5 is 1250. This is our Nourish, as you can see. There you go. Boom. Okay, now this is the Meatball. Right. Boom. And he's dead. And this is puking and slowing nearby enemies and armor stripping them. We take many shots to armor strip them because it's not at 100%. And yes, the Meatball is fast, and don't worry, I have a bit for you for the Speedsters around the world. Let's summon those enemies in. Alright, let's get going, baby! Build number 1, Grendel Clean. This means Grendel Clean means there is no helmet ability on Grendel. Now, brief respite on ability cast quad converts 150% of energy spent on shields while overshield are inactive. This is becoming now a very famous aura mod because the shield gate nerf that happened, and so we don't use anything like crazy. The more shields you have, the more vulnerable you become when you get shield gated, whatever. So this is the brief respite. Premature footed, so you don't get knocked down. If you get knocked down, enemies may kill you in that time. Primed flow, adaptation to adapt. I know you're gonna say running guard. Don't worry. Transit fortitude, stretch, archon continuity, ogre reach, ogre secret, and umbral intensify. Arcane energize. Arcane Guardian. Now, Arcane Energize, I know. Many Thanos will start attacking me. What the heck? Using Arcane Energize and you're using the Nourish. Nourish will do the Arcane Energize job. I know. I may use even Equilibrium here. Energy and spamming is a love story that doesn't stop. So you want to spam the first ability to eat, the first ability to at certain time when it's heavy and this, you will thank me for the Arcane Energize. But, if you don't like the Arcane Energize, you can switch it with whatever you want. You can switch it with Malt Augment, bravo, and so on. But I would prefer you switch Arcane Guardian for whatever. For example, if you're gonna go with melee weapon, you can go with Arcane Fury, or you can go with Arcane Strike. You can remove Energize and Guardian and put Strike and Fury. You can go Malt Efficient, Malt Augment, which gonna be perfect for you. Okay, so stretch Arcane Continuity. Here we're gonna come in another argument where we're gonna be saying, okay, Hank, why would you do this while the fourth ability gonna be armor stripping the enemy? Why you need corrosive? Why would you need this? Okay, so think about it this way. Corrosive, true. We don't need it for armor stripping, but we need it as a proc into the enemies, and actually corrosive does a corrosive damage, except it is actually... okay, corrosive have effect of armor stripping enemies from their armor. Also, it is a damage, it is a statue effect. So, if you're playing a weapon that's using condition overload, you will want corrosive in that enemies as a status, so you boost the melee damage of the weapon. That's the purpose of this. But if you're not gonna do that, if you're playing a weapon that doesn't require condition overload and so on, you can use the normal continuity. I think this clears it out. So we cleared the point where is it why energize and nourish, and now we cleared the continuity and the rejuvenate, whatever it is. Okay, so let's get going. Mamma mia. Okay, so in this video we're gonna be using the Meatball, his signature weapon. So I don't say, always using glaive. So we're gonna be using his Meatball weapon, and we're gonna be releasing those enemies to showcase it in a better way. Okay. So don't put enemies from there, Hank. Alright, putting enemies in, activating Nourish. You can add them, armor stripped. Boom, boom, boom. Take that 7 million. Oh, I don't know. So there you go. In, building them out, armor stripping them, boom, taking them in back again, stripping them, and so on and so on and so on. And the weapon is very powerful, and worry not, the build is coming for this weapon. Okay, swallow them in, throw them out. Where is he? Where is he? Throw him out, and he's not dead. Okay, now he's dead. Okay? Simple as that. Okay, so we don't make the video very long. Let's do this, guys. Armor strip, in. What is that? Come in. Oh! And now I think we clear the enemies. Perfect. Something here. Where are they coming, man? Look at this guy. Throw my wall there. I think. Did he just go behind the wall? Anyway, so. This is the first build where we go Grendel clean. Okay, so what you want to do is swallow enemies, keep your nourish all the time active, hit them with rejuvenate, swallow them again, hit them, slow them, and you get the idea. Okay, now moving to Grendelnator. Grendelnator, as you know, Resonator is a signature helmet for this channel. Resonator, so very simple and very easy to understand here. What you need to... why Resonator? Resonator is to distract enemies while you swallow them and you kill them. Simple. Very, 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 very simple helmet and very simple reasoning of why I'm using Resonator. So here you go. Enemies are chasing Resonator. You have no problem. You can swallow those enemies. You can activate your nourish. You can armor strip enemies. And you can do whatever you desire. You get the point? You get the point. So... Resonator will distract enemies, you will swallow them, and kill them. Easy, easy. Alright, we're going to be using Brief Respite, Prime Sure-Footed, Ogre Seeker Adaptation, Prime Continuity, Ogre Reach, Transfortitude, Overextend, Flow, and Intensify, Energize, and Malt Augment. Now, Malt Augment, you can switch it as you're already 163, you're already armor stripping, so you can play around with Malt Augment or Energize, that's totally up to you. If you feel the build doesn't require your Energize, you can switch it. This is not written in a stone. You can play around with the Augment, you can play around with the build, you can do whatever you want, you can criticize in the comments below as well. Alright, moving to health build. So this build, what it is exactly, what is different between the other build? This one is we try to put a bit higher HP. Now, if you want to invest Umbra Forma on this weapon, I would highly recommend that you're gonna be putting all the Umbra right here. But I don't think that's gonna be a nice idea, as you already can run with armor reduction already. You have 175 range, 128 duration, you have 2800 HP, energized and Malt Augment. Of course, you can run the HP one. I think it's called But this one, I think Arcane Blessing. I don't even have this Arcane Blessing. I keep selling them. I keep selling them all the time. I don't rely on HP much. But if you want, you can invest money and get this one in and do whatever you desire. But why having that amount of HP that you're gonna get one shot at a certain point? That's what we're here for. What we're here for is this. I put the third ability, which is Blood Altar. Blood Altar, what it does is going to be regenerate your health by second and capacitate enemies and so on. So let me show you what it goes. So it's gonna go Blood Altar with Nourish. That's gonna do your health regenerating and whatever, and you're gonna be swallowing enemies and shooting them out. So let me show you exactly how that works. Let's go, baby. Okay, so we swallow enemies. Send these out. Actually, you know what? Give me a second. Let me summon 20 enemies because like 6 enemies or so on is not good for me. Heavy corrupted gunners, as you can see there, they are Steel Path edition. Okay, here we go. Now this is more like it, baby. Alright, let's go. Alright, Blood Altar, as you can see, we're regenerating HP. As we are using the Augment, as you can see, this is level 195 heavy corrupted gunners, and they're attacking me right now. And as you can see, I am regenerating enough HP. So, there we go. So imagine now looking at them and hitting them with our lovely abilities. Hitting enemies, throwing them, hitting enemies, throwing them, throwing them, so on and so on. Okay? So, now here you would say, but Hank, there is something that we don't like around here. Okay, that is something we don't like around here. I know what you mean. You can talk to me about the flow, talk to me about that, but I really don't care. I think it's I don't want to use Umbra Forma for this guy. Okay, so I know what you mean. I know what you're gonna say. I know the part about the flow, and yeah. So, with the Augment, but switch it around. If you don't want it, you can switch it around. Free flow for you. Gourmand, Feast Augment, instead of energy, consumes 200 health on cast. So, this feast will be consuming, what? Gonna be consuming health on cast. Gluten grants an additional 150 armor per enemy. Okay? So, you're gonna be perfecto. You're gonna be fine. You can remove flow if you don't like the energy, as you're gonna be using your gourmand for health using and so on. So you can remove flow, and you're going to be losing less energy. You can remove energize. So flow and energize, it's up to you to optimize, depends on what you're going to be using. For example, let me give you an example where what you can actually do. Okay, so you can remove flow and you put rolling guard, or you can remove flow and you put intensify. You can remove flow and you put fiber to add more HP to yourself. That's one thing you can do. Okay, so energize, you can switch it around, depends on the weapon. For example, you want to go acceleration, you want to go fury, you want to go whatever you desire. You can just, depends on the play, depends on the game, depends on the weapon you're using. That's how you play. Okay, it's not written on a stone thing. Okay, let's go. Grendel Thermal. This build of premature food, I almost said. Yeah, this premature. Private Respite, Ogre Seeker Adaptation, Continuity, Ogre Reach, Intensifier, Extend, Flow, and Fortitude. Here we have 122% armor strip, more than enough. But you know, it's not about only armor stripping for strength, it's more of other things like energy multipliers and so on and so on and so on and so on. The list goes on and on and on. Okay. So, here, we want, of course, to put Molt Augment right here, or anything you desire. You can remove Energize again, if you want to. So, the idea here is you're going to be using Thermal Sunder from Gauss. So, Thermal Sunder from Gauss, what it does is siphon Energize from area, charging the battery and inflicting cold statue on nearby enemies. Hold reverse the process, draining the battery and inflicting heat damage. So, if you hit one time, you're going to proc cold. If you hit hold, you're going to proc heat. But, my friend, that's not it. If you proc 2 times cold, enemies would be frozen, and that's exactly what we need from those enemies. Okay, let's swallow those enemies in. Activate our Nourish, and freeze those enemies. Okay, enemies are frozen. Swallow them. Armor strip them, and they will not go away. So, kill those. Look at that. Cool. To be honest with you, one of my favorite builds. Maybe I will take the spin into the Steel Path, as all those builds you're seeing right now are tested in Steel Path. and guaranteed. Okay. For this last build, which is Speedster, we're going to be using Sprint Boost, Catapult, Ogre Seeker, Narrow Mounted, Speed Drift, Rush, Blind Rage, Natural Talent, Flow, Emerald Agility, and Phantasm, Arcane Energize. We're going to be using Infested Mobility for the fourth ability. This is, you can call it maybe a meme build. You can call it anything that you really want. Where is the Amprex? Listen, I'm not gonna go through, let's say, I'm gonna use Amortization for sprint speed and so on. So I'm not gonna go through the part where you can use, let's say, the incarnate weapons, Brados, whatever. No, we're not gonna go like pushing this guy to his like unlimited limits for speed. I'm just gonna show you the build and what this one capable of. Alright, let's go. Venus or Valis, let's go. And here we are. This build is really simple, it's not complicated or so, however. We're going to be using third force ability, and here we are. And are you ready for the ultimate speed? Check this out. You love the speed, everybody loves the speed, yeah? Until we crash into some sort of a wall or something. Yeah. You see that? I rebuffed myself while I'm still on the thing. Check this out. Bro, this isn't lovely. Tell me, this isn't fun. Let me tell you something, guys. This build is the build that I spend the most time testing and enjoying from all his builds, as I was here in Orbalis, running around, enjoying myself and having fun with this build, as he is really fast. And give me a second, I will show you how fast he is in 1 second. Alright, go. I want you to pay attention now to the map. I can't see very good, but so you can have an idea. I'm not there. There you go. It's really hard to see, but yeah, get the idea of how fast that he is. But maybe I can move the map around here. There we go. Like this. Activated. But we are climbing right now. Alright, let's go down all the way here. Boom, and we're stuck again. It's hard to see, but yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea. It's not complicated to use, and you need to use the heavy attack button for you, so you can actually burst yourself with the movement of our lovely Grendel. But he's super fast. He's super fast, and I can give him the ticket as a Speedster that you can actually enjoy speeding up with. Check this out. Whoa. Let's get going. I told you guys, this build you will never get bored of. It is really cool, as you will keep having a lot of fun and smashing the heavy attack button all the time. Oh, enough of this. Let's go to our orbiter and switch the build, and we go test one of the builds that we made. We cannot test them all, like we go for them all. This is just so we show our lovely tenors who having doubts, like they did on the dagath. On the dagath builds I just released, so I have to make another video talking about the thing. Oh right, yeah, if you notice the phone. Okay, so let's choose one build that we're gonna go with. I mean, going with Resonator, it will give me, right, so enemies will not hit me, right? So I will be surviving 100%, I'm sure about it. Going health build, I will be surviving because I'm gonna regenerate a lot of health and so on. Going with the thermal, I'm gonna be freezing enemies. Going Speedster is not possible because it's a meme build. Here we go, Grendel clean, so I will go with Grendel without any helmet ability to help him out. That's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna go with his Meatball, the same weapon, his signature weapon, but just here we're gonna put this one into Sedo, and yeah. The Z-Lock and everything else is coming, boys, as well. Let's go in solo, and we're gonna go Steel Path Void Mod. The end game, baby, let's go. Alright, loading in the ship, going to Steel Path. There we are. Okay, I know this video gets a bit longer, but this is a 5 build, guys. It's not one build if you divide you're gonna be fine. You find yourself like it's just
down all
perfect
systems.
timing for
I'm
it.
sending life support capsules your way.
Okay, we're just gonna wait on some enemies. Alright, go with enemies. In case you're wondering how I am invisible on the one, it's really simple. Okay. And enemies. Them. Strip. All you have to do actually here is just like you're gonna be swallowing enemies, armor stripping them, swallowing them, slowing them with your ability, and beating them with your lovely weapon. Now you need to remember that running your weapon, the signature weapon for Grendel, the Resonator, will be giving you the ability for no armor. No static effect if you proc heavy attack. There you go. I'm trying to sit in the middle. I'm not trying to do anything crazy like going like this and using my operator and something confusing me. I'm just trying to sit around and showing you that this is a simple play like any channel will be playing the same way I'm just right now doing. Really as simple as that. Anyone would be playing the same way. Okay, collecting enemies, sitting around, and if I die right now, I'm not going to edit it because the way it is. I'll just know the cause of death, and you try to, like for example, if I was playing real against those enemies, I wouldn't stand right here and be tanking. Probably I would be doing it differently. I would be using the Marcos anomaly. It would be different stuff, but I'm not going to make it. This way, and as you see, if you pay really attention, you're gonna see that I am using only these abilities. I'm not using anything else. Okay? Only these abilities trying to do that. Okay? I'm gonna use Meatball. Meatball will make you not really a happy guy. Meatball cannot move the way you want. Greater if you shoot the gate. One. Shoot the nerf now. Okay, so you can keep going in and out. This. Around. In. By the way, you can take enemies in when you are in the ball. By the way. You can take only up to 5. Out. Of course. So you can well. Well, let's here. Ourselves. Enemies. So you already see the way that you're gonna be playing this guy. Enemies, I'm stripping enemies, hitting them. As you can see, I'm just using the abilities. And as you can see, this weapon does like 14,000 damage. And don't worry, like before. There is something called shield gating, right? Now it's nerfed, right? So every time my shield goes away, I am frightened, right? I'm really frightened, trying to react to it. We start to get used to this now. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. But remember now your shield takes 50% more tanky shots now. Okay. Again. Ooh, we have Angus there. Lovely. And from all the guys we got Angus. Lovely. Let's try Angus. Ball. I mean, this is. I mean, I wouldn't do this, guys. To be honest with you, I wouldn't do it with Angus using the ball on him. To be honest with you guys, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this if I was like. Playing this for real, right? I'm gonna be honest with you, random. But yeah, for the sake of the video, we can get feel in a comfort way, you can play this build without anything super crazy or meta weapon. And I mean, imagine I'm using like my blade here, something like that. I mean, it would get really bad for these enemies, 100%.
Keep up the good work.
Okay,
When you are ready,
okay, we're gonna
go to
extract
extraction.
this way.
Extraction is ready.
I mean, if I use the Resonator, I'll be taking way less damage and enemies gonna be busy chasing my Resonator. If I was using Thermal Sunder, I would be slowing those enemies a really bad time. And if I was using the other build of the altar, I would be healing myself like crazy. And if I was using any of the other builds, it's gonna be really messy for those enemies. Now, this build, yes, you can take it to high level enemies, but it will require more. What I mean more, it will require a better weapon, that you keep distance from enemies. It will require that you find yourself a safe spot that you are hiding in and putting yourself in a perfect corner where enemies cannot keep hitting you, but you can soak them in. There is mechanics. Let me explain to you something, guys. Fighting high-end level content like endurance tranzone is not only about the build. It's your reaction time, is how you react at shield gating, is what weapon you're using, how you proc enemies, how you like make a perfect mix between your operator and your Warframe, how you do all those things that would make you survive. Sometimes a perfect build, but you die. Why? Because there is other things to help you out. Because enemies shooting you from 20 or 30 meters and they are so hard, the shot is so hard, and they're shooting like crazy or fire rating at you, and you don't react in the perfect time when you shield gated or when you see that happening, or and you cannot realize when you are in a bad situation. That is this little, like, the thin wire between pushing through endurance end game and surviving and like dying. It's not only the build, it's your hands, it's your knowledge of the game, it's your experience, and everything plays a role in here. Well, that's the 5 builds for Grendel. I hope, guys, you enjoy these builds. Big love to you all. Of course, Fashion Frame for Grendel is coming, Zero Prime build is coming, the Meatball build is coming, and of course, the Night's Void Shell and so on. Fashion Frame, there is a lot of videos still, so don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can get notified when I release a video. Have Discord, the link in the description. Big love to you all, and see you next time.